Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be covering up a lot of E3 news because there's like 5 different topics I want to go cover all throughout this one, just make one really good video. We just had Nintendo's E3 presentation. I'm going to go show you guys all the best games that was just announced for that in case you guys missed it. As well, I'm also going to kind of give you guys my general thoughts on E3 because this may be a hot take, maybe a bad take, I'm not sure. But I'll be honest, I really wasn't that impressed all throughout this year for all of E3. Now, there was a lot of really cool indie games out there, a few new cool kind of AAA games, but for me, I'm definitely a big AAA guy. I love AAA games, those really big brand new IPs and announcements, and I feel like we just didn't get that much. Now, of course, before you guys go leave any comments down below, I know we're in a pandemic, I understand that, I know the world's kind of weird, I totally get it, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a free pass, but I'm still going to give you guys my thoughts on that. And as well, I also want to kind of give you guys just a lot of things to go and talk about, maybe some of my favorite games, maybe the coolest things I kind of saw, and I would love to actually hear your opinions and thoughts down below before we get back into more PS5 restock stuff all throughout the rest of today. So if you guys want to, make sure you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications out because we are giving out a PS5 for all of our subscribers. Also, the Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc and digital and controllers, all that good stuff you guys want to go check and see. Use the link tree links down below for bonus giveaway entries, Twitter and Twitch stream, a link down below, and of course, the Weeble. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stack and free money. Go and basically you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Those are always linked down below. And without further ado, let's go dive in the video itself. So I'm going to first of all, let's go talk about the Nintendo thing first, if you guys would like. I will actually go and say I do kind of feel like Nintendo overall kind of won this E3. Mainly because, like as I mentioned, on the basis of I like the idea of new announcements, I like new teasers, I like new games, and at least for all the games out there, I do kind of feel like Nintendo probably was the actual presentation that announced the most stuff that I'm intrigued on. Now, I do also want to make a note. I do think Xbox and Bethesda actually had a really good conference. If you guys somehow missed that, they did have their Halo multiplayer announcement and single player talk about that, and a few other games as well, like such as Forza, which I'm very, very excited to go and play. And I do think overall they actually had a very, very nice and good conference. But once again, I always like seeing brand new things, brand new IPs, brand new everything. Now, you could always go kind of make jokes because I don't think Nintendo actually really had any brand new IPs per se, but overall, they kind of did what we expected. We have the brand new Breath of the Wild 2 trailer over here, which has announced coming for 2022. I'm extremely excited for this, and I do think Nintendo presented this pretty well. But of course, as well, I also kind of wish it was coming out maybe this year, but I'd rather have a good game than a rushed out, broken game. But at least we did have this actually go announced. We also did go and see a brand new Warrior game. I'm going to show all these trailers out in the background too as well, and also a few other little things mixed on in. I believe there's a new Smash character too as well, and just the one kind of thing I'm kind of hyped up for is the brand new Metroid. Now, I'm more of a fan of like the 3D Metroids myself. I loved Metroid Prime. This was a 2D Metroid that's been rumored out for at least a little while. So at least for me, I'm not fully against it. I thought Nintendo had an okay conference, but we didn't go and see any Switch Pro news, and that of course always hurts the soul a little bit on over there, in all honesty. So at least we did have at least an okay conference from Nintendo. If you guys want to give your thoughts and comments on that down below, feel free to if you guys like. I think overall Nintendo is probably one of my favorite ones, but of course Xbox did a very good job. But kind of the more so conversation I want to go and have is I feel like this whole year's E3 was just not that good. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this actual video, I understand we're in a pandemic, not everything can be perfect, it's really hard to work from home. And also we're on that really weird transitional period of like next gen and previous gen. There's production issues with the PlayStation 5. I get it, and I'm not going to be too harsh on that in the general sense. Like, I understand, but I just truly kind of feel like this year's E3 kind of felt like a little bit of wasted time. We also had a lot of drama, I think, with this year's E3 every now and then, but I think some of the very specific panels kind of go and show why I thought it was kind of bad. The two major things I want to reference are the Gearbox, where basically Gearbox themselves just had Randy, like good old Randy, going and talk about the brand new Borderlands movie for like 30 minutes and some really weird like vlog / live stream type style thing. And that's cool and all, but did that really go and merit an entire E3 showcase? I don't really think so, in my honest opinion. I really don't think so. And I feel like that kind of just wasted our time. Same thing with their actual proper like game announcements. They had a few random old school games that they kind of talked about a little bit, but it really wasn't anything new. There was like basically no new exciting announcements, nothing kind of cool, and it just kind of seemed like a weird PR showcase. Same thing too as well, if you guys have kind of seen some other things. I believe this was the Take-Two one as well. It was so boring to the fact that I don't even remember the name on it, where if you guys just saw, it was just a bunch of people in a Zoom meeting for like an hour and a half. And like, that's just not fun. I think a lot of people also couldn't agree with me on this. We want to see games, we want to see trailers, we want to see brand new stuff, and that's why I kind of feel like Nintendo and Xbox did a very good job. because they just basically were like, hey, here's games, you guys may like them, you guys may dislike them, but here are some games, go and check them on out. And I always have to give them a lot of good credit for that, because that's what I want to see. I want to see E3, I want to see brand new games, I want to see brand new things you guys are working on, I want to be teased, I want to be excited. So it does kind of make me a little bit more on the sadder side that we just didn't see that much from these side people. A good example as well is also for the Square Enix showcase, where they showed a bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that game looks okay, I guess, but I want to see more things. I want to see more Final Fantasy news. I want to see Final Fantasy 16 news, if anything. Now, they could also maybe just be waiting for maybe the next Sony event coming out, because it is rumored to come out in the next month or so. So I can totally understand that, but I just kind of wish there was more. And maybe I'm just being like a spoiled gamer. I probably sound like it, if anything. But when it comes to all this stuff, like, especially when it comes to next gen, I want something new. I want something cool. I want to be excited for games. And thankfully, we did at least have a few pieces of that, such as, for actually seeing Halo Infinite multiplayer, which I'm extremely hyped up for. The Forza, which I thought was very, very good. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just wish we had a little bit more. Because a lot of things when it came to the Microsoft showcase as well, they had a lot of cool indie games, but on top of that, I'm a PC gamer too. So a lot of these PC games I've already played, such as like Hades. And also they are coming out for the PlayStation 5 too as well, so it's not like it's a specific Xbox thing. Now, once again, I just might be a little bit of a greedy gamer or whatever, but I really wish there was just a little bit more of a wow factor. And especially don't forget too, for E3, we haven't really had a proper good E3 in like 2 years, because with the pandemic, they were kind of canceled, etc., etc. And I feel like ever since Sony's left E3, there's always like a nice little hole missing. I really miss having that Sony vibe, because I feel like, if anything, I was always impressed with a lot of Sony games, a lot of Sony things in general that they wanted to show, and it always made me happy, because it made me kind of feel like I was, I want to be a gamer. I want to go play those games and enjoy those games overall. So I don't know, you guys can maybe go give me your thoughts. I do think a lot of these side things too as well really didn't turn out that good. We'll have to see how Bandai is maybe in a few hours, but it really just, nothing kind of blew me away. Like, there was no major Cyberpunk, no major game that I'm like, oh my god, I just cannot wait to get to go and play this game. There's a lot of games though, as I mentioned at the start of the video, a lot of cool indie games that I think probably deserve our time, and they had very unique presence and stuff like that. But I really just don't think there was just that much stuff out there that gave me that wow factor, to the point where I'm almost feeling like I'm going to be bored playing games for the next year. And I was honestly expecting the opposite when next gen happened, because I was expecting to be like a flow of brand new games. And especially this year, I want to make this point kind of big, especially this year with both the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, I was expecting a lot more. Now, once again, I understand pandemic, I totally get that. But, like, just give me a teaser. Give me anything. Give me, like, that little baby bit of brand new IP. And we at least did have a little bit of that as well from Microsoft, too, because they did announce that really cool, like, vampire shooter type game at the very tail end of the conference. But once again, like, I just kind of feel like we're just playing the same games over and over and over again. And for me as a PC gamer, I do kind of feel like a lot of these really good PC games, once again, kind of like Hades, kind of comes back to console. And I'm not against that. I think console players should have a chance to go and enjoy these awesome games, and especially if they can make money off it for the devs and stuff. But I just really wish that this E3 was just a little bit better. There was a lot of times I was watching some of these conference, future PC gaming show, etc., that I just kind of felt like it just wasn't worth my time. And it kind of felt like it really wasn't. But thankfully, at least on the bright side, I will go have a little bit of a positive twist on this. It was nice that we did go and see that Microsoft did have some cool games, such as Halo being announced and Forza and all of that. Same thing too as well with Breath of the Wild 2. A lot of us were just very much anticipating that when it does kind of finally come on out. And we also did get to see that Wario game. A lot of cool little smaller things. I guess I can't go and be, like, you can't be getting brand new crazy games every single week, every single year. But I don't know. I kind of feel like this E3 for me just didn't really fully do it for me. And it also kind of keeps me questioning on, like, is E3 even really worth it? Do we even care really about E3 next year? And I do kind of feel like a lot of times nowadays, it does seem like these major gaming conferences might just be better to be done alone. Like, once again, do we really need to go have a Gearbox thing with Randy Pitchfork going and talking about for 20 minutes about the brand new movie? Not really, but I don't know. What can you do? I feel like gaming has been such in a weird spot these past few years, so it's kind of been strange to kind of get out of that rut and go from there. But I will go and say at least we did have a chance to go and see the Summer Games Fest. We did get to see those Elden Rings, which I'm so excited to get to go and see those trailers and gameplay from everything for that. And on top of that too, at least we did have a chance to go and see some cool announcements too, even with Gearbox, even though I've kind of been insulting them a little bit. Seeing that Wonderlands as well as very cool, Breath of the Wild news. Like, there's at least something to kind of hold me together when it comes to all these games. But I think the overall thought process on this is I kind of feel like E3 felt a little bit lame. I'm not sure if that's just my take or not, if it's a hot take or bad take or whatever. But hopefully maybe next year, or maybe we'll have some really cool announcements later on throughout this year for the holiday season. But I don't know. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on this down below to kind of see if I'm like in a hot take or bad take or whatever. I just truly was expecting more. Maybe I should have had my expectations a little bit lower, but I was just hoping we could see something rather than stuff we haven't already seen. Like, I guess my final thought on this, to kind of go and kind of summarize that, we've seen a lot of these games already announced. Breath of the Wild 2, we've already seen it. Halo Infinite, we've already seen it. So that's kind of why I'm saying it's a little bit weird. Like, say also for like the Left 4 Dead like sequel as well. It just, we've seen all this stuff already, so it's kind of just us kind of rehashing and kind of seeing maybe updates for stuff. I don't know. I kind of maybe just a little quick take on it, but I do kind of feel like we just don't need an E3 anymore. I really think a lot of these game conferences can just go and handle it on themselves. They could probably pull even more viewers and have a more better show if they gave themselves like a little bit more time to kind of space that out and plan this stuff. And I do kind of feel like an idea of E3 is kind of overrated because, as you guys probably saw from a lot of these conferences, it just really wasn't worth it for them to probably put that time and money and effort into it when they could just do it on themselves and, you know, probably been fine. I don't know. A little bit of a ramble video, a little bit just a random filler video. Hope you guys don't mind on that. Definitely give me your thoughts on E3 now that it's pretty much like over, even though we'll have a little bit of stuff throughout the rest of the week. And like I said, if you had any really cool games that you guys are excited for, I am definitely excited for some cool games. Don't get me wrong, but I just kind of I feel like we need Sony. I don't know. We need Sony, boys. But I appreciate you guys all so much for watching my little ramble of a video. I appreciate you guys all so much for chilling. Like I said, tell me if you guys agree or disagree or all that stuff. And also, hopefully you guys enjoyed the Nintendo showcase because I did think it was kind of cool. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you guys like to. Leave a like if you guys want. Webull down below. Coinbase down below. Amazon links down below. Twitter and Twitch if you guys want to follow. And I'll see you guys later on throughout today for some more brand new videos. Love you guys.